we're back. You know, many years ago, well, you may not know, so let me bring you up to speed. Many years ago, I worked with a young fellow who was a photographer at the time, and you could tell then he had a lot of drive and was going to end up doing something with his life, and he did. I went one way, he went the other, and as I watched from a distance, he very quietly moved up in the television business. Programming, sales, assistant manager, and now this young man is no longer young and he's my boss. Our guest on this segment, Royal Aills, who's general manager of RSU Public TV. Royal, good to see you, lad.
How you doing, Sam?
Royal and I share a common bond. You see, we're both hard-headed and we're both a little bit stubborn, but I got to tell you, that's not the only bond we share. Both of us are deathly afraid of the virus that's going around. It has me working from home and Royal chained to a chair in the studio. How you doing, my friend?
Good, very good, very good. Good.
My
Good to see
reason
you.
for having Royal on today is Royal got hit with the virus. Now, you can only imagine what a chaos this threw the station into, because he is the leader among leaders. So, Royal, let's go back to the beginning of this. When did you start to feel kind of shaky?
In June, we went on vacation to Colorado, and that Saturday when we left, we stopped off in Amarillo to stay the night, and that's when it hit me. It hit me really hard, and every day got worse.
What were your symptoms, Royal?
Well, I had vomiting really bad. I thought I had food poisoning. That's kind of what it mimicked. But then it went from that to flu-like symptoms, fever. I was bedridden for the whole week in Colorado, except for one day. I made myself get up and go do some stuff with the family. But other than that, I was pretty much bedridden.
Anybody else in your family come down with it?
My youngest, Nina, she was asymptomatic when we got back and got tested. So she had it, but she wasn't sick from it. It was just me.
How long did it take you to get past the virus?
Well, you have to define past.
All right, let me do that. How long before you could be among the living, if you will?
Oh man, I was a week in Colorado. When we got back, they put me in the hospital for 4 days. So once I got out of the hospital, I was pretty much over a month at the house, just quarantined and still throwing positive tests every time I go get a test. So it was well over almost 2 months before I got to where I could do the things I needed to do.
Well, I know for a fact that now you wear a mask. I don't know if you were wearing one when you went on vacation,
no.
But I will ask, were you?
No. See, I wasn't taking this thing seriously. I was going to the gym, working out. I was going to Walmart without a mask. I just never took it seriously. And when it hit me, it was a wake-up call that this stuff's real, that this stuff will hit you if you're not careful. And when it takes you down, it will take you down. Now, it affects everybody differently. I went to the hospital for 4 days. I had a high school classmate, Rusty Smith, who got hit, and the thing that saved him was a blood transfusion, 2 of them, for the antibodies. That's what saved him. I didn't have that bad. Mine was minor compared to his. So it hits everybody differently. But when you go to the hospital and they talk about respirator, it wakes you up in a hurry.
I'll bet. I can only imagine. And of course, you can't have visitors.
No.
And you're stuck.
Right. Just me, the phone, the computer. That was it.
Well, first, let me say I'm really glad you're with us for more reasons than one. I don't know enough about the virus to be considered even knowledgeable. I don't know if you can get it a second time, but please stay close to that mask and take care. I know that you've talked to me about doing a special on the virus down the road, but you know, we're in the middle of a red state and the numbers continue to climb. That unnerves me, man.
Well, yeah, and people who don't take it seriously should be taking it seriously. Look, I'm as conservative as you can be, but having lived through it, I understand the dilemma that goes with it. People who won't wear a mask really should consider wearing the mask. It's not just for them, it's also for me. So I take it very seriously. When I'm out and about in church, I'm wearing a mask. Unless I forget to put it on, which does happen. We're not raised to wear this thing. We're raised just to get up and go, and that happens here at the office sometimes. I'll get up and go, then I got to stop, go back, and grab my mask. But the reality of it is, we should be wearing the mask. It does help. It is not fun to wear this thing, especially when it's 100 degrees outside. But it does, if anything, it gives you peace of mind that maybe I'm protecting me and protecting someone else that's around me a little bit.
Have you been challenged in public yet for wearing a mask?
No, I've heard of people who have, but I have never been challenged. I'm glad to see more and more people are wearing the mask. I live in Broken Arrow, so there's no mandate there to wear a mask. But when I'm out and about, I see more and more people now wearing the mask. So I don't see the opposition as much about mask wearing as you used to.
Well, I have to tell you, we haven't discussed this, but I was challenged. I stopped in a convenience store here in Tulsa, and I was challenged by a fellow that didn't have a mask on. I was trying to leave, and he stopped. I mean, he was between me and the door and challenged me. And thank goodness for the cashier, who was wearing a mask, who intervened. I don't know where that would have gone, but clearly my being in a mask upset this fellow. And I said, look, man, I'm just trying to live. And, whatever your choice, that's it. The thing that troubles me about this, Royal, is it's wearing a mask is now been politicized to the point that you got those that do and those that don't, and they're going to vote the same way.
Well, when it comes to the voting, people just have to vote their conscience, whatever they choose to do. That's one thing. But when it comes, I vote every day. I vote by putting the mask on because for me, it gives me peace of mind and it protects me. I'm convinced beyond a shadow of doubt, had I taken this thing seriously, the wearing of the mask, back in March and April and May, I would not have gotten sick. I'm convinced of that. But this isn't a foolproof method. You can still get sick one way or the other. But the reality of it is, it certainly gives me peace of mind that the numbers are in my favor when I wear this. And that's what I'm looking for, is something that's in my favor. Having gone through it, having been able to lay there and not be able to breathe like I should breathe normally, and I'm gasping for air, and I've got an oxygen hose next up my nose so I can get oxygen. This thing, I'll take this any day compared to that oxygen hose in the hospital room, any day.
Well said, my friend. What's the policy on campus at RSU?
Everyone has to wear the mask. When you're inside, stepping a walking space of somebody, you need to have your mask on. And I'm convinced on this campus it's working because they've had some COVID cases, but they've been able to quarantine them, and we're not shutting the campus down. We're still open for business. Kids are going to classes, and that's a proven fact that it works if you follow the rules.
So there is a way to protect yourself, at least to some extent.
Follow the rules. Look, I'm from Delaware County, West Siloam Spring. All right, I'm a rebel by nature. I don't like following the rules, but follow the rule of the mask, and it's really working. It really does work.
Yeah, it does. I salute you in your approach to it now, and your candor with the viewers and with me. And I can't tell you how glad I am to see you sitting there looking all pink and rosy and cute as usual.
Well, if you'd seen me in the hospital, you would be thinking, is that boy going to live or what?
So it was a tough go there for a while.
It was scary.
Well, I know you have a very busy schedule, and I don't want to tie you up too long, but we're very grateful for you coming in and visiting with us and sharing with us your experience on this. And appreciate the words of wisdom about wear the mask. Thank you, my friend.
You bet, Sam.
Well, that's all the time we have for this segment and for our get together today. I want to thank Royal and Tulsa County Commissioner Karen Keith for interrupting their schedule to be with us. And we're going to call this thing to a halt. We'll be around next time. For now, my friends, good night and good luck.